Welcome back, everybody. Rugby TV. We carry on talking about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby, and I'm sure, as many of you know, some of the training regulations are about to roll out, and hopefully we'll see some of the clubs busy with some sort of form of training, dependent, of course, on the regulations, and get to 2021. And a lot of clubs have been preparing behind the scenes for 2021. They've been looking at their facilities, clubs have been looking at their management structures, they've been looking at their players and squads, all for 2021. And he hasn't been with us on the show for a while now, but joining us and to tell us a little bit more about what's happening at Unimil, Isma-eel Dollie. Ish, great to see you on the show there. How are you?
Hi JP, it's good to be back. Yeah, see, you're still looking healthy, and 2020 has done you well so far.
I'm not going to make any comment on that on that part. I don't know about that. But what we do know, as I've mentioned to other folks, is we take it all one day at a time, and we hope that we see the COVID go away as quickly as possible. And but let's focus to your side there, Unimil. You guys also looking quite a lot towards 2021 at the moment.
I think this has been probably the longest preseason, off-season all clubs have had to endure. Come 2021, I don't think any club can say they were not prepared. And I think what's important and what we've realized is that how important the administration will be playing their roles in taking club rugby forward in the times that we're living in. So, I mean, I believe last week there was this compliance managers meeting at Western Province, and that was communicated to us as the members, and lots of protocols to follow. But I think we can do it.
So let's take a look at that. Over this year, we've seen, and I do want to talk about Unimil and where we're going to be next year and the kind of things that you're focusing on. But if you look at that, I mean, you've got a lot of experience at national level, international level, local level, and of course, you're instrumentally involved with rugby in South Africa itself. But if we look over the last 6 months, there's been a lot of coaching seminars, a lot of referee workshops, different types of engagements around strength and conditioning. There's been multiple engagements. Are there any specific components of these type of engagements that you would say should be a priority?
Well, I think upskilling was probably the most important thing for coaches because there was no on-field work with players. So yes, it might take a bit of while for us as coaches to get back into the swing of things and learn how to blow a whistle and put a few cones out. But it definitely, if coaches did not use this time to upskill them and impart that knowledge from various platforms around the world, then it's time wasted, it's time gone. In saying that, 2021 is literally around the corner. We usually start our preseason, end of November, December, some clubs in January. So, yeah, it's almost that time. And I think with the new norms that's in place around all industries, yeah, it's going to be nothing new for us in terms of our getting our ducks in a row to get us back onto the field.
So no scenario just yet of saying that when you should concentrate more on the forwards or you should concentrate more on the backline play. We haven't had that sort of split yet.
Well, we can't. We have nothing to base our judgment on. I mean, we've had no rugby this year, so I think we start 2021 on a clean slate, and it'll be interesting to see how clubs come out. Some clubs have already started their preseason get-togethers, so to say, whether it's be virtually or at the clubs. But we're just waiting for the go-ahead when we can start getting our protocols and our compliance certificates in place before we can get onto the field.
Yeah, no, we just had a slight feeling there that maybe you being a former fly-off might be saying that backline play should be the priority for coaches to look at. But
Backs are always the rock stars. Eh? We always make sure that we the glitz and glamour of the team. The forwards just must make sure they give the ball to us.
We also spoke to Phil Cronje and Jerome Parvard a little bit earlier on. There is also a clear indication that needs to be a balance between home-based training, field-based training, and that the players need to obviously have their own strength and conditioning programs that they can take home with them.
Very easy to say, especially, but I mean, people have different circumstances at home. Mine might be different to yours, and that's just based on the privilege of oneself. So, but we must make use of what we have. And I think players have done that exceptionally well. I think across all the clubs, and made use whatever they have. They've made the best of it. So it'll be interesting to see the shape that some of the players come back in. I mean, the round is also a shape. So it will be great to just to see. And I think that first couple of sessions will just be that interaction of the players, because they've missed each other. They haven't seen each other for a couple of months. I mean, I haven't even seen my coaches for a few months. Just seen them on a computer screen.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to meet again.
Is that what you guys will be doing over the next few weeks? You'll be trying to meet again to make sure that your management structures are on the same page?
Yeah, so we will try and meet obviously in small groups, and obviously we're still cognizant of the virus, and making sure that we're following all protocols. But yeah, no training yet per se, but definitely get-togethers in small groups, and making sure that we get that social interaction back again. Because I mean, that's what club rugby is all about. That's what community sport is about, is that club feeling. And I can't seem to see us having games without any spectators next year. I just cannot fathom that scenario happening, because we need our families, we need our communities, we need people at the grounds, and club rugby is nothing without them.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. But talking about play without spectators, we've seen some international rugby and of course national rugby as well on TV now. That certainly has certainly, it seems like it's given the fans out there, it's kept them a little bit connected, and it looks like it's also given the club rugby guys a little bit of excitement.
Yeah, that gears and that vibe is coming back again, because that's some sort of normality. When the All Blacks and the Wallabies start playing again on TV, it gives us that feeling of, listen, things are coming a little bit back to normal. Understand that New Zealand is a total different country to South Africa, and the dynamics is very different. So we're glad that we can have some local rugby on our television screens. The Super Rugby Unlocked and the Currie Cup, and that's been going well. Unfortunate that there was a game cancelled last week between the Lions and the Cheetahs due to COVID regulations. So we hope that the integrity of that competition, and possibly we can take a leaf out of that for our leagues next year, how to manage our leagues going into next year. So yeah, it's something to think of.
Next steps for you from Unimil, or is it a question of one day at a time?
I think we've got some feedback from province last week. We've got a COVID compliance manager now, and I think each club, their management will play a massive role. I think to get things going again, the administration will be very, very important. So I believe we've got to complete this COVID compliance certificate, which will give us access to the grounds. And so we're all trying to get that, and we're logging onto the World Rugby websites and stuff like that. So we're taking it slowly but surely, but I mean, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Our guys are excited, and if other sport codes can do it, I mean, why not us?
It's going to take a little bit of hard work, a little bit of admin, or quite a bit of admin, but enough. Let's make sure we do enough admin to try and do the very best we can in terms of all the precautionary measures then. Ish, on a final note, we just want to say to you congratulations on the new addition to the family.
Thanks, JP. It's hopefully a golfer, not a rugby player.
But if it is a rugby player, fly off?
Please stay away from the forwards.
All right, Ish, we'll leave it at that, and we'll catch up with you again soon.
Yeah, thanks, JP, and all the best, and everyone must stay safe out there and keep following the protocols, etc.
There we go, folks. Isma-eel Dollie, Unimil Rugby Football, the head coach. Of course, I think, as he said, COVID regulations in place, and he did point out there that coaches do need to go and do that World Rugby COVID awareness course, which is, of course, on the World Rugby website. So if you are watching the show and you are a coach, make sure that you understand what those rules and regulations are. Folks, that's a wrap from us here this evening. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Have a fantastic rugby weekend. Bye-bye.